If you invest with Charles Schwab and you're interested in using index funds to build out your portfolio, in this video, I'm going to do a brief review of the Schwab index funds that are available, as well as a comparison to some of Schwab's competitors, namely Vanguard. So if you're unfamiliar with index funds and what they are, very briefly, index funds are funds that are designed to track an index like the S&P 500, and they're not trying to beat the market by picking, let's say, 30 stocks in the S&P 500 that they think are going to do best over the next year. So because they're just owning the market and there's not a lot of active trading, it doesn't cost a lot of money just to own the S&P 500. They have really low cost, and there's a lot of studies that have shown over time that by keeping your costs low as an investor, that'll help you keep more of your money and it'll help your returns be better over time. So Schwab has a good page here on indexing and some of the benefits. So I'll put a link in that in the show notes below. But again, what I wanted to do is focus on the Schwab index funds, because the benefit of using Schwab's index funds, if you are someone who's going to use mutual funds, is that they are available at a low cost. All Schwab funds and some T. Rowe Price funds are available at a $0 trading cost. You can also buy ETFs, US-based ETFs for $0, which I'll focus on in another video. But in this video, I really just want to focus on mutual funds. So if you're someone who's more comfortable with mutual funds, you can see here I've gone to Schwab's mutual fund research site. And again, this is available without logging into Schwab. And if I then click on index funds here, this gives me a list of Schwab's index funds. So you can see the list is not very large. So Schwab has 8 equity index funds. But from research that I've put out and a lot of other research, you probably don't need more than 8 index funds if you're trying to build just a standard diversified portfolio. And it could even be done with fewer than that. So you can see here that they have a number of index funds. They have some large cap index funds, they have international, they have mid cap, they have small cap, and they have a total market fund. So the important thing with index funds is to make sure that they are a low cost operating expense, and that's called the expense ratio. That's the annual charge that the fund is charging you each year. So you can see here that all these funds, all these Schwab equity index funds are all relatively low. This Schwab 1000 index fund is 0.05%. Then the Schwab International Fund is 0.06%. So that means 1.0 would be 1%. So that's less than 0.1% is what you can buy these funds for. So that is a good thing, the fact that they have these funds available and they are a low cost, because there are some index funds that are offered. I've seen by looking at other companies, not to name any names, where they offer index funds, but they're not a low-cost index funds. They have a higher cost than average. And you can see here on the right where Schwab is showing what the category average is. So for example, if you just wanted to buy an S&P 500 fund that tracks the S&P 500 index, that's the largest U.S. stocks in the United States, that fund costs 0.02% a year. So it's almost zero. It's not zero, but very close. So that's a good thing, and you could purchase that fund without any cost. So we compare that to Vanguard. So Vanguard has a lot of funds, and if you look at Vanguard's mutual funds in ETFs, they have about 147 mutual funds or ETFs that you can buy. Now, in fairness, I'm not comparing Schwab's ETFs in this screen that I've done here. So Vanguard definitely has a lot more funds, but as I said before, that's not absolutely necessary. The important thing is that you can build a diversified portfolio with an index fund-based portfolio if that's what you're looking to do for low cost. So if we compare Vanguard's S&P 500 fund, that's VFIAX, we can see that that has a slightly higher expense ratio. So in that case, Schwab has a slight advantage in the sense that, as we saw before, their S&P 500 fund costs 0.02%. So they have a little bit of an advantage there. So the next thing you'd want to do is to compare these funds' performance. And there's a number of ways that you can do that. I find Google is very helpful for comparing lots of different investments. So if you put in Schwab's S&P 500 index fund into the Google search bar, SWPXX, and it then brings up the number of things about it. But the thing it brings up, which I find helpful, is a chart showing performance. And you can change that from 6 months, year to date, 1 year, 5 years, and up to the maximum. So we can see that this fund has been available since 1997. So it's been available for a long time. If you click down below here where it says more about Schwab S&P 500, it then allows you to compare it to another fund. So let's compare it to Vanguard's fund. So Vanguard's symbol was VFIAX. So we can just compare the performance. And let's look on a 5-year basis because these funds started at different points. So if we look on a 5-year basis, we can see the total return, assuming this is correct. Again, you could verify this also by looking at the prospectus, but let's assume this information on Google is correct. These funds have almost identical performance. We can see that the Vanguard 500 index fund returned about 0.6% more over the 5 years. So it's very, very similar, being that if you had an account with Schwab and you wanted to invest in the S&P 500 index, doing it through this mutual fund would be a very easy way to do it. And the nice thing about it is because it's a Schwab fund, they're not charging you a transaction fee. Let's go back and just look at one other fund to compare while we're doing this. So another popular way to track the market is a total stock market index fund. And what that does is it incorporates both the S&P 500 and also small size companies. So things like the Russell 2000, the S&P 600, these are small cap stocks. So if we compare SWTSX to Vanguard's equivalent of that, which is VTSAX, so this Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, we can see that they also have very similar performance. In this case, there was a little greater discrepancy. The Vanguard Total Stock Market Fund made a little bit more than 0.5% over that 5-year period than the Schwab Total Market Index Fund. So these indexes are not exactly the same, but they're very close to being the same. And if we look at the cost of the Vanguard fund, the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund has a cost of 0.04 and Schwab's has a cost of 0.03. So they have very similar costs. As we saw, the performance is slightly different. On a 1-year basis, their performance is identical, but on a 5-year basis, Google is showing us that the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund made about 0.5% more. So the negative with Schwab is that if you wanted to buy the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, I've logged into Schwab to see how much that would cost. That, if we scroll down here, I looked that fund up, that would cost $74.95 to purchase. So that's one of the reasons why you really want to stick with either ETFs, which we'll talk about in another video if you're going to be buying index funds, or use the Schwab mutual funds because of the fact that they have no trading costs. And the funds are very similar to some of their competitors, namely Vanguard, which I picked just for 2 examples. You would save the $75 a year and you'd have very similar performance. So I hope that helps give you a better understanding of the Schwab index funds and how you could use them to build out your portfolio. If you like this video, please click the subscribe button below to be able to receive more of these videos. Have a great day.